Huh? Just gotta open up the make sure it's going. Oh no, it's going, but I gotta, cause I'm gonna have to read the questions until Hamza gets here. You sure it's going, yeah, Mujahid? Because it says waiting for Hamza to. Just double check, inshallah. I will start anyways. Alright, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. So we stopped. Okay, yeah, it's going now. It's going. Alright, we stopped on chapter 52, Bab Birr al-Abbi li-waladihi. Alright, so this is similar to the chapter before as far as the title heading. It says the chapter on, the righteousness of the father to his son. Okay, so the son, his duty to the father is what?
His rights to his father.
What are the rights? Obedience, right? So if the father tells him to do something, he does it, as long as it's in the obedience to Allah. I mean, obviously, if the father tells him to do something that's in disobedience to Allah, he doesn't obey him in that. But now when we talk about the birr of the father, from the father to the son, that is giving the son everything that he needs. Alright, from the dunyawi things, like clothing, the food, and the drink, providing him for all the necessities of life, and also for the necessities of life of deen, teaching him the correct and appropriate, the correct deen, so he can live his life as a upright Muslim, inshallah. So that's a part of the rights that the son has over the father, is that the father has to teach the child. He has to teach the child, and has to prepare the child for whatever he has to prepare him for. Obviously, the child's going to go out, he's going to see all types of sins. The father has to teach him that these things are not permissible and why they're not permissible, and he has to prepare the child for life. So this hadith is number 94, and today we're probably going to take about 5 hadiths today, because this is only one hadith in this one chapter. And in the next chapter, there's like 5 hadiths, but they're all the same. So we're just going to take, it's about 6 hadiths actually. So حدثنا أبا ابن مخلد عن عيسى بن يونس عن الوصافي. الوصافي is ضعيف. His name is Ubaydullah ibn al-Walid, and he's شديد الضعف. So this hadith is going to be weak. عن الوصافي and محارب ابن دثار عن ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال إنما سماهم الله أبرارا لأنهم بروا الآباء ولا بنات كما أن لوالدك عليك حقا كذلك لولدك عليك حقا. So here Ibn Umar رضي الله عنهما, he said that that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called them Abarara. Abarara is like the righteous people. Because they're full of birr, and the birr is righteousness. So he said that they called him Abarara. He's talking about the child that obeys his parents. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala referred to them as what? Abarara, righteous, because of the way of their obedience to their parents. He said, لِأَنَّهُمْ بَرُّوا الْآبَاءِ, because they were righteous to their parents, they were obedient to them. وَالْأَبَنَاءِ, and their sons. So he didn't mention just their parents, but also to what? To their sons. كَمَا أَنَّ لِوَالِدِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٍّ, just like your father has rights over you, كَذَلِكَ لِوَالِدِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٍّ, and just like that, your son also has rights over you. And this is true. I mean, regardless of the hadith being da'if or not, it is true. I mean, each person, every Muslim to another Muslim, we all have rights over each other. And the thing that causes the most problems between all of us is each person is focusing on, instead of focusing on making sure that he fulfills the rights of the people that have rights over him, he's focusing on what? He's focusing on the people that aren't giving him his rights. And this is why you see the state of corruption that we're in. If everybody was just simply focused on who has rights over me, let me fulfill the rights that these people have over me. I have a mother, well, I don't have a father anymore, but I have a mother. So she has rights over me. So I have to fulfill her rights. I have other close family members. They have rights over me. I have to fulfill their rights. I have children. They have rights over me. I have to fulfill their rights. I have neighbors. They have rights over me. I have to fulfill their rights. And then in the community amongst the Muslims, as Muslims to another Muslim, we all have rights over each other, and we all have to fulfill those rights that we have with each other. So if we got too much to focus on, just the rights that we have to fulfill to other people. You know, with all the people that have rights over us, we're too busy. We should be too busy focusing on fulfilling those rights that the people have over us. That we shouldn't be so busy. We don't have time to be caught up on what? Oh, this person's not giving me my rights, or this person's not giving me. If you're busy enough trying to fulfill your obligations, you don't have time to focus on other people, on whether or not they fulfill their obligations or not, because you're too busy trying to do what you have to do. And if you fulfilled all the rights that people have over you, you have no concern about what, you know, because you didn't have time to even think about that. Because if you look at all the rights that people have over us, it's too much. I'm not saying it's too much, like we can't bear it, because la yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never places a burden on somebody more than he could bear. But I'm saying it's enough to keep you busy from thinking about this person didn't do this, or this person didn't do this, or this person has to do it. You don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. So when we focus on fulfilling the rights that people have over us more than we focus on them fulfilling the rights, our rights, because that's selfish, you know. And you know, the only way that we can be successful is when we start to become selfless and not selfish. And then selfless, it means that we give and we're not concerned with getting. But the people nowadays, they're so concerned with what they got and what they didn't get, and they're not concerned with giving. You know, so they don't give people their rights, but they want their rights held to them, you know, handed to them in full. And this is why all the marriages fail. Because the woman's like, he's not giving me my rights. All right, are you giving him his? And the husband complains, well, she's not giving me my rights. Are you giving her hers? You know, so when people start to actually look at it in that regard, in that fashion, and they start to see where they're going wrong at, because they're focused on what he's not doing this for me, and she's not doing this for me, and they're not doing this for me. That's selfish. That's selfish. Focus on your obligations. Your obligations and the people that have obligation that you have to fulfill those obligations to, and make sure that you get done what you got to get done, and don't worry about the other people. So the next chapter, and like I said, it's going to be 5 hadiths, but they're all connected together. Bab man la yurhamu la yurhamu. So this is the chapter of the ones who doesn't show mercy, that mercy will not be shown to him. And we kind of briefly talked about this the other day, but we'll go over all the different narrations now, inshallah. So the first one, hadith number 95. حدثنا محمد ابن العلا قال حدثنا معاوية بن هشام عن شيبان عن فراس عن عطية فيه ضعف. So this narration is ضعيف, but all these other narrations are authentic. So they support this narration, even though this chain of narration is weak, but the hadith is hasan because of all the chains, all of these are going to be authentic. Alright, so عن عطية عن أبي سعيد رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال من لا يرحمه لا يرحمه. Alright, so whoever does not, so the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said in this hadith that's reported on Abi Sa'id, and we're going to see that the most authentic hadith is reported on Jarir. But this is, like I said, this is supported by the hadith of Jarir that we're going to see after this. So he said, whoever does not show mercy to the people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will not be shown mercy. It means if you don't show mercy to the people, then what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not show you mercy. So you know, part of you getting that mercy is you have to also be what? Showing mercy. It's not, I guess we got nobody's typing. Is he here yet or what? Huh?
Opposite? No.
Yeah. Alright, so the next hadith, number 96, and this one, now we're going into the authentic ones. حدثنا محمد بن سلام قال أخبرنا أبو معاوية عن الأعمش. Alright, الأعمش, of course, is سليمان ibn مهران عن زيد بن وهب وأبي ضبيان عن جرير بن عبد الله رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يرحم الله من لا يرحم الناس. So here, very specific, where the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not have mercy on a person who does not have mercy on the people. Alright? So he will not have mercy on a person that does not have mercy on the people. And this hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. So this hadith is authentic with no doubt. The next narration, 97, also عن جرير عن عبدة عن ابن أبي خالد عن قيس بن عن جرير ابن عبد الله رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من لا يرحم الناس لا يرحمه الله. So here Jarir, he reported that the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, whoever does not show mercy, does not have mercy on the people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not have mercy on him, will not show him mercy. Alright, hadith number 98, وعن عبدة عن هشام عن أبيه. Alright, Hisham ibn Urwa, and his father is Urwa, and Aisha رضي الله عنها قالت أتى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ناس من الأعراب فقال له رجل منهم يا رسول الله أتقبلون الصبيان فوالله ما نقبلهم فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أو أملك لك أن إذ كان الله عز وجل نزع من قلبك الرحمة. And this hadith is we've already taken this. This was the 90th hadith in this book, the 90th hadith, but not with this chain of narration. So this is the same hadith and Aisha radiallahu anha, but Bukhari brought it with a different chain of narration. So here a Bedouin, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, do you kiss your children? Were you here for that class? Okay, so yeah, so that was number 90. He said, do you kiss your children? And he said, I swear by Allah, we don't kiss our children. So the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do I control the fact that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has snatched the mercy out of your heart, what can I do for you? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he's basically saying, what ability do I possess to help you if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already snatched the mercy out of your heart? So, I mean, because again, it goes back to that's the mercy. Because, I mean, if you can't have mercy on a small child, who are you going to have mercy with? You know what I'm saying? So, because, it's like you got all the people that do all this oppression throughout the day. People that lie, people that cheat, people that steal, people that cheat, they cheat you, they deceive you, all of these different things, right? Well, a child who's free from all of that, just an innocent child, you can't even have mercy on the child. So who are you going to have mercy on? So Allah musta'an. So, I mean, that's why he said, what can I do for you if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has snatched all the mercy that you've had for humans? Yeah, I mean, who are you going to have mercy for if you can't even have mercy on a child? So Allah musta'an. And the last and final hadith of this chapter, 99, حدثنا أبو نعمان قال حدثنا حماد بن زيد عن عاصم عن أبي عثمان عن عمر رضي الله عنه استعمل رجلا فقال العامل إن لي كذا وكذا من الولد ما قبلت واحدا منهم فزعم عمر أو قال عمر إن الله عز وجل لا يرحم من عباده إلا أبرهم. So here this is reported on the authority of Umar رضي الله عنه that he استعمل رجلا. استعمل رجلا, it means that he used him and put him in authority over a place. And then he said, إِنَّ لِي كَذَا وَكَذَا مِنَ الْوَلَدِ. He said, I have he's like so many and so many of children, so many number of children. And I haven't kissed one of them. And فَزَعَمَ Umar, and then he said that Umar said to him that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah azza wa jal, لَا يَرْحَمْ مَنْ عِبَادِهِ. He does not have mercy for his servants except for those who are righteous. And righteous here is that they have mercy and they show respect. And they have a righteous and good behavior with other people. So these are the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows mercy to. Because we see, with the people that don't have mercy, we see the outcome. I mean, if we look at like the people on the streets, look at who are the people that have the least amount of mercy. Like these gang members, right? Drug dealers and gang members they don't care because all they're trying to do is either one, represent his neighborhood or his reputation, or two, he's just trying to make money off of selling drugs. He has no concern with the people. The people are not the concern. The people are just a dollar sign for him. What's the outcome of this man in his life? Does he have an easy life? Now he's put through all different types of just the toughest trials and tribulations, even to the point where it gets to where he can't even trust his closest friends start to turn against him. And the vast majority of the times these dudes are killed by their closest friends and taken out by their closest friends. If that doesn't happen, he ends up going to prison, and he's got to just live his life in, again, the most severest of circumstances. Because of him not having mercy on the people and living the way that he did, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took that mercy away from him and didn't show it to him. So now imagine if you go throughout life and you're the opposite. You live the opposite type of life. Because here, the thing about it is in this sick, corrupt society that we live in, is that the people look at mercy. You having mercy as what? Weakness. Like you're weak. Because that's why they always say, don't take my kindness for weakness. But the thing is like, for you to actually be kind, merciful to people, and understanding of their situation and trying to make ease for the people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes ease for you. And see, here the people, they want you to be in the same state that they're in. Oh man, mercy's for the weak. Yeah, akhi, this ain't no Karate Kid movie. You know what I'm saying? What type of stupidity is this, akhi? We don't follow this garbage, and we don't follow the type of, the things that, these kuffar, like what they call the people to. And we follow the Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and mercy is not weakness. It's not weakness. In fact, it takes a stronger man and a tougher man to show mercy to somebody that he could hurt or do something really bad to, but instead he chooses to show mercy to that person with the ability to do something really, really bad to that person if he wanted to. That takes a lot of strength. That takes a lot of character. And that takes just a lot of traits that the majority of the people, they don't have today. Because you see now the problem is that now we have all these weak people now, that they become the voice of the people. And it's just like what did Abu Firas say? أنا أشكو أن نحن في زمان تحكموا في أسادهنا كلابه. He said, I'm complaining. He says, my complaint is that we live in a time that our dogs are ruling over the lions, ruling over our lions. So the lions are the people that have that type of strength, but they don't have to go out and bark and yell and scream and they're the quiet ones. And they're the ones that when they do things when they have to do them. The dog is the one that's what? Is barking all the time, making a bunch of noise and so he said that these dogs now, he said, we now live in a time, he said, I'm complaining because we live in a time that these dogs now are ruling over the lions. And now the lions have been made like slaves to these dogs. And that's what you see nowadays, Like if you look on like social media, what do you see? You see like what? Who's controlling the narrative? Who's controlling like what the people should follow and listen? The lions or the dogs, I'm saying? The dogs. And the muddiest of dogs. The scroungiest, mangiest of dogs. So now the lions now, they don't have a voice. Because the lions, they don't talk. Lions don't like to sit up there and try, but you see now the dogs getting online talking about what? I'm a lion. And dude, if you were that, you wouldn't have to say that type of stuff. So, that's the reality. Mercy is mercy. If you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show mercy to you, you show mercy to other people. And that doesn't mean that's completely, 100% across the board. Why?
Mac and cheese.
Because not everybody's deserving of it. You got to look at the situation and use hikmah. You give me barbecue soul food for, man. Oh, hand slaughtered barbecue. Oh, this is halal.
Yeah, from
Oh,
Oakland.
you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Oakland.
Just gave it to me.
I ain't gonna go to Oakland for no barbecue.
No, it's here. It's
Oh,
here.
oh.
It's here though. He came from Oakland.
Where is this guy? It's a restaurant.
No, it's not a restaurant. He have a truck and he's grilling.
It's a food truck.
Yeah.
Where? By the store?
Yeah, right there.
Right on Walnut and Jensen.
Oh, so down past the school.
Yeah.
Where all her people live.
Oh, so past the school.
No,
Past the school, past church, which is the next one.
Yeah.
Next stop sign. Then the next stop sign all the way over, which is Jensen. That store right there is gonna be, since you're coming from, it's gonna be to your left. And it's a store.
Yeah, Obama, watch out for that, please.
Hey,
Because you're
what you
famous
got?
for knocking stuff over, man.
What you got?
He's got the cards. He's handing them out to everybody.
Oh, his soda?
And
Hey, don't drink on the carpet. Drink on the floor.
What does he say?
Get a regular chair.
huh?
Fusion 523 Southern Halal.
And
What do you mean by Southern
everybody-
Halal?
Hey,
Southern like where I'm from, the South, or
Yeah.
Southern like LA?
no,
Southern
Southern.
like
Where you
where I'm from.
Hey,
Hey, go downstairs in the bathroom and look on the soap dispenser and get my glasses.
hey, we put
Scrum.
we put eat we put we
Slow
put
down, slow down.
we
Yeah, you gotta breathe.
we clean an ice machine and sell the ices.
Huh?
Ice
Cream
machine.
machine got ice.
Oh, okay.
And we sell the ices.
Obama. All right, let's finish this class first, inshallah. We'll talk after this, inshallah. All right. So, there's not many questions tonight, so. Not too many questions. All right. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The person said, is it permissible for someone to do one ruqya for 2 or more illnesses? I mean, if you're talking about jinn, I mean, I've witnessed where people had to read on one guy that had 12 jinn in him. So, I mean, but I mean, they're only going to leave out one at a time. So you have to deal with each one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. I mean, because you can't tell 12 jinn just to leave the person's body at once, because they might leave out of some area that might cause him, could kill him, you know, so it could kill him.
So that's true?
Yeah.
The jinn being in you is true?
Yeah. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in shaitan, يجري في ابن آدم مجرى الدم. That the shaitan, he runs through the body of Ibn Adam, from the son of Adam, from the majra ad-dam, from the flowing of the blood. And this is not metaphorical. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam does not speak poetically. He's not a poet. You know, so everything he says is what? It's literal. Yeah, it's literal. So a lot of people say, oh, you know what he's talking about is the whisperings of shaitan. No, he said in the Ibn Adam, and he put tawqeed on it. And in the shaitan, yajri fi Ibn Adam majra ad-dam. So it's just through the blood flow that the shaitan will just run, can flow through the body through the flow of blood. But now when they're leaving the body, and they can also cause damage to different organs within the body. So that's why, you know, you have to be careful with that stuff. And some of the witchcraft that people do to other people is for that purpose of killing the person. So the jinn goes in and starts causing a lot of like stomach issues and problems for the person to eventually kill him, you know. Yeah. Because that happened with that one, with the guy that, and his name is Dawood. I think his name is Dawood. He's a big witch in Yemen. But he made Tawbah. He repented. And when he repented, to get revenge on him, the jinn killed his son right in front of him. And he said the story. I mean, I don't believe, you know, I take everything with a grain of salt. But I mean, he became like a student of knowledge, and he started, you know. So I'm just telling you what he said. He said that, you know, just like basically the jinn just ripped his stomach, and the kid died right in front of him. So.
My mom.
All right, later. I told you we were recording right now.
You don't record it.
So it doesn't matter. Either way it goes, you're going to have to take care of each issue one at a time anyways. There are different types of riba, and this is not, right, we don't have the time to go through all that. That's a whole research. That would require a whole book in itself.
Riba?
Yeah, interest. Yeah,
Interest.
just all the different types of interest. That would require a whole book in itself. All right, so for Bulugh al-Maram, قال الإمام حافظ بن حجر رحمه الله تعالى. All right, so we're on Hadith 1022. I said I had to save this for today. Allahu Akbar. So this Hadith is an Ibn Umar رضي الله عنهما أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لعن الواصلة والمستوصلة والواشمة والمستوشمة Muttafaqun alayh. So this hadith is reported on the authority of Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them both, that the Prophet ﷺ, he cursed the wasila. What is the wasila?
People?
No, the wasila is the woman who does the weave, the hair.
Wow.
She does the weave for the women. That's the wasila. The mustawsila is the woman who asked for this to be done to her, so she's getting the extensions put in her hair. So the woman who does it is cursed, and the woman who seeks it to be done is cursed. All right. So does that mean that it's permissible for people now to have like these hair shops that they have for the females?
No.
If they're doing this, then no, it's not permissible. Well, washima, and the washima is the one who does the tattoos. Well, mustawshima, and the one who seeks the tattoo to be done. In these days, men did not get tattoos. All right. Throughout, all you see throughout this history, it was always something that was done for women, and it was done for the purposes of beauty. Like, like you see like the older tribal women, they get like little dots tattooed on their mouth, things like this. They would do this for like beauty purposes. They wouldn't get like, a whole, because that's art.
Art.
It's nasty, for one. I mean, a woman with tattoos like a man. But again, it goes to show you the sickness and corruption of this society, dude. It's so, man, that the men have become so corrupt that they like women that look like what? And look and act like men. She's got tattoos all over her arms, all on her legs. I think when I was like, in high school, the most a girl would get is like a little butterfly tattoo on her back or something. Women didn't get tattoos on their arms. They used to get them on their lower back, things like that. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, like all these women getting tattoos all over, like getting a whole sleeve. A woman, I'm like, God, he's sick, man. But I mean, this was only done for the purposes of beauty. So you don't see he used this for the females, and he didn't mention mustoshim, washim, mustoshim, because the men didn't do this to other men in that society. The men did not get tattoos. It was the women. So all of these people are cursed, and the curse, it means what? When we say that somebody is cursed, we mean what?
A curse for punishment.
Yeah, it's al-ibad and rahmatullah. That means that you're completely put far away from the mercy of Allah. So
Out of the sight of Allah.
yeah, out of the mercy, like there's no mercy for you. So you come on the day of judgment. So you've been doing this sin, and this is how you've been earning your living, and or this is what you've been doing. Maybe you haven't been earning your living, but this is what you've been spending your money on, doing this disobedience to Allah. Then don't expect that mercy on the day of judgment, because it's a la'na. Don't expect mercy in the dunya, and don't expect any mercy on the day of judgment.
Mom.
So this is a very, very, very serious, very extremely serious issue. And women nowadays, of course, they take this lightly. I mean, right now, the whole extension thing is the least of the worries right now. Because the extensions is not just the hair now, it's the hair, the eyelashes, and all this type of stuff. And all of this is not permissible.
Piercings, everything.
Well, I mean, the piercings are permissible for women, but the piercings of the ear, not piercing their mouth and piercing their eye, come on.
What about nose?
Huh?
What about nose?
I don't, I'd have to see if they even, if they did that.
I don't know. Africans did.
Yeah, they pierce here, the women, yeah. But all this other stuff that the women doing, like doing taqlid of the kuffar now. And all this stuff, akhi, because we grew up. See, we didn't grow up in a very pure environment. So we know where this stuff came from. We know where this stuff came from. Because anybody, like when we're out on the streets, we know the type of women that we had to hang around with. Because obviously anybody that's been involved in drugs knows if you want the easiest way to get involved in drugs is to be around what? Strippers. Yeah. Strippers have all the connections that you could ever have in the world. So just being around them, you start to see the things like, you see these trends that it starts with them. And then it starts to what? Fan off and bleed into the rest of society. And that's what people don't understand, why we hate this stuff so much. Because when we grew up, we saw this. We saw the origins of it. We saw where it started. And then now you become Muslim, You want a good Muslim woman, and then you see the Muslim women now starting to do what? What they're doing. Yeah, not just the kuffar, akhi, but doing what the most despicable, rotten, filthy of the kuffar are doing. You understand? And you know this, and you're like, I know where this came from. Why are y'all doing this? You know? And then people are like, why are you so angry? Well, you know, because we don't want our women to act like a bunch of strippers and prostitutes. We want our women to have respect for themselves. You know, we want them, to be a model for the women in society. And that's the way that a Muslim woman should be. A Muslim woman should be a model for other women, like other women respect her. How are they going to respect her when she, she's covered, but all she's covering is what? She's covering like she's like, a stripper under those sheets. You know what I'm saying? So it's like as soon as she takes that covering off, what's the difference between her and the other women in society? I'm not talking about the other women. We're not talking about the woman who go to like Georgetown University and become a lawyer. We're not talking about those women. We're talking about the filth of society. It's like, why? But this is what women are attracted to. You see this, like women, they strive to be like the filth of society. It's like, dude, can't you just like look and see, But this goes also back to what? Again, the corruption of the woman is not with the absence, except it's with the presence of the corruption of the man first. Because the man is attracted to that filth. So then the woman, she's like, well, how can I get him attracted to me? What? That's what he likes. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Let me do this for him. So then, you see how it's all tied in together. So again,
fulfilling his desires.
So we can't blame, but also it's kind of hard to tell her, look at how you're acting. Look at, it's like I've seen this overseas, and I'm trying to I give as little detail as possible, not to get other people that I knew overseas in trouble, because I don't want the person to say, go up to my wife and say, oh, he's talking about us. Let me try to give very, 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 very minimal. You got dudes, they want their sister, they have women, they have sisters in their family, but they want their sister to be what? Their sisters and their wives to be like the Aisha, radiallahu anha. But he sits up all night watching porn. Sits up, watching the most filthiest of women all night long, but yet he wants his women to be like what? And and you see these dudes, they don't have any mercy. They go to extreme. If they see anything, you see them really, really angry because he knows what he's doing in his private time. He's not giving them advice. He gets aggressive with them. No, I don't want to ever see you go out the house like this. These are the dudes that are what? What is it? What are you worried about? You're worried that they're going to end up like what you're watching. But you're watching it. And then you subconsciously, because this is something you like, what do? You end up flipping the people around you to be like those things that you like. So who's the closest person to that man? His wife. So what do you think he's going to start doing with his wife? He's going to start trying to do the things that he sees in this filth that he's watching. And this is what continues to go on. So it starts with the man. That man becomes corrupt first, and he's gonna open up the doors and start to become lenient with the women, to the point where the women, if you just left the women alone and don't control, just leave them, they're gonna go right out the back door. You can forget Islam, you can forget obedience, you can forget anything. The women, you have to. I don't mean constantly being over their heads, yelling and screaming, but you have to really, really constantly teach them and advise them.
They learn by example.
And set the example, because otherwise, if you just leave the women, it's game over, boy. This society is gone, But I mean, subhanallah, you see this, but this is what we see now. Now we see the women, Muslim women now, getting involved in these types of things, going here to these women doing the hair and all this type of stuff. To do what? Look like these kuffar. Yeah, let me tell you something. Because I don't know, maybe it's because I've been overseas for 20-something. I've only been back in America now. This is only my third year back in America. So over 2 decades. So I missed all this stuff. When I left out of America, weave was it was popular, but not like now with the wigs and all this other stuff. It wasn't, that didn't exist. and the eyelashes and all this stuff didn't exist, and all you know, it was real basic.
Tattoos and stuff.
Women getting those tattoos.
Yeah.
Like I said, they used to get the butterfly tattoo on the back.
Or something.
Yeah, something small, not, you know, nothing major. And now it's just like, akhi, these women, they don't even look like, akhi, wallahi, they're ugly, akhi.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, like I said, I don't know if it's just me because I was overseas, missed this whole transition period, but it's ugly, akhi. Wallahi, when I see women with these eyelashes that you can see from 500 yards away, you know, it's like, subhanAllah, their eyelashes are picking up all the lint in the atmosphere, you know, huh?
Fly away when they blink.
Yeah, if she blinks too hard, akhi, and the wind blows, she might go up in the air, man, and land in the airport over there, you know. But and just all the other stuff, man, because it's
you
like
never really get to know who you really meeting when you meet one today.
Would
If you
you
go
see-
home and take all that stuff off, the nails, the eyelashes, the hair, you know what I'm saying? She starts. Am I talking? Is you know I'm talking? Is this a class?
is this Obama?
Did you hear what I just said?
Yes.
Say something else. You gonna sit right there beside me the whole time, on the floor. Thank you. As we were.
Yeah, but I mean, it's sick, akhi, wallahi, it's sick. I couldn't imagine if I had sat in front of a woman and that's what she looked like when I saw her, I would be out of that house so fast. You know, seriously. Like, they'd be like, where'd he go? You know, like, where'd he go? He's gone. Like, I'd have to jump out the window or something. I would not stay. Like, no.
It's filthy, man. It's filthy the way the world becoming. Women, the men. You don't know who they is no more. You don't really know. In that world out there, you don't know who they is.
Well, I mean, we have criteria, but this is the problem, is the Muslims have left that criteria. See, our criteria is that we're going to judge the people. If it's a woman, man, whoever, we're going to judge them based on the Quran and the Sunnah. That's our criteria. So I'm going to look at the person and I'm going to see how much of that I see in the person. From a level of 10 to 0. And that, wherever that person falls in that little thing, that's how I'm going to treat that person. Obviously, 10 is going to be like the ulama. You know, most of the majority of the people won't go above a 5. You know, as far as like their knowledge and practice of the Quran and the Sunnah. If they can get to a 5, that's probably a good person to be around in the West. But most of the people are sitting around 1 or none. You know, I mean, Muslims, and you don't see any of the criteria. No Quran and Sunnah, but just just the fact that the person prays 5 times a day, fasts in Ramadan, and then everything else is just like the behavior and the actions of the kuffar, you know, and it's
Obsolete,
huh?
Obsolete.
Yeah, because of all this energy, akhi, and look how much money that you spend to look like a freak of nature, akhi. It's just like I don't even know how much this stuff costs, but I can imagine it's not cheap. You know,
not to get off the subject, but even with that Botox, man, that stuff is killing them, and the women are still wanting to risk the fact of getting their lips big, enlarged, or that's crazy. It's crazy. They don't even want to look normal.
Well, they're not just getting their lips enlarged anymore. I mean, that stuff's going through every single part of their body now. You know, so Allah musta'an, akhi. You know, they started setting up those places even in Yemen for the plastic surgery and stuff like that. In Yemen, people going overseas, going to America, studying how to do the plastic surgery, going to school for this, going back to Yemen, you know, and opening it. So you see that, akhi. It's sick, man. It's sick. And you know, these women don't think like, no, it doesn't look good.
It's a big market.
It's a big market, but I'm saying it doesn't look good. Like, who are you trying to impress? The woman should only be trying to impress one man in her life. Or a husband.
And the repercussions behind it, the after effect to it. You know, a lot of the people that get that Botox, man, they mess them up completely. They look totally different. They look like devils.
I've seen them because I lived in LA.
They look worse than the person on crystal and crack.
When I lived in LA, I used to work on Vine Street, Vine Street in Hollywood. So every morning, like because you get all these old women, they probably used to work in Hollywood, but then they just didn't get famous, and they just lived in whatever. But they did all that. Yeah, they did that plastic surgery to themselves back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. But now she's like 60 years old. Dude, they're horrible. Oh, they look so horrible. Like, you look at her and you be like, well, like, you would make Iblis throw up. Like, seriously, like, Shaitan would look at you and throw up. I mean, it's just nasty, akhi. It's nasty, nasty, nasty. It's like all of that for what? For that little small period of time. And you don't even, like, wallahi, it does not look good, akhi.
And a lot of money. And a lot of money. A small period of time and a lot of money. When you could have just let nature take its course, just live your life, Take the natural vitamins that you're supposed to take.
Well, I mean, it's just like, it's because they're stupid, because they follow, look, for every man that hates fat women, there's a man that loves them. For every man that, like, hates a woman with, like, thin, those real paper lips, there's a man that loves them. For every man that loves a woman with, puffier lips, there's a man that hates them. So, hey, come on, man. It's like, what I'm saying? It's not like we're all like 100% in agreement on, but because this is now because they're following the kuffar, and these are the norms and what they said. But akhi, that takes too much, man. That takes too much of an effort. That effort could be well spent in developing your character, developing you as a person, learning the Quran and the Sunnah. You could take that money. All that money could have bought so many books from Masajid, akhi.
And it's an addiction too. It turns into an addiction. You do it all the time. You gotta have it.
Yeah, because you're never going to be happy. If you weren't happy with the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you, you think that you're going to be happy with what man does to you.
The end result.
So it's like, come on, man, you're never going to be happy. There's always going to be something else. As soon as I got to change this, I got to change this. So either one, you're just satisfied, or two, khalas, you're just going to live your life in just complete torment. And
you just don't got no self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? And you're around the wrong people or something. Or you're not doing something. You don't believe in something. It's a lot of sad people.
Because that's about, I would say that's about 100% of women. Because if a woman doesn't have this type of self-esteem, then those are the women that you don't want to marry anyways, because that's Butch right there, boy. And even Butch has very low self-esteem, but you just got to hit it, you got to find where it's at. But every single woman has something about her body that she doesn't like. And she wishes that she could change it. She hates it. She tries to hide it. She tries to... Every woman.
Even if she gets compliments towards it.
Yeah.
She still don't like it.
Yeah. That's just natural. You know that everyone... But if you change this one thing, guess what? There's going to be something that you didn't focus on before because you were focusing on this one thing that you didn't like about your body. Whatever it is, right? So if you change the thing that you don't like, now the things that you didn't focus on before, they start to... What? Now you start to notice them, and now you're like, oh, well, what about this? I gotta change. There's no happiness.
Into a whole year.
Yeah, there's no happiness for this,
A never-ending story.
Yeah, it just use
one
that
thing after another. One thing after another. You're trying to change. Chasing what?
Man, it's supposed to be
the look of somebody else.
Because they're trying to chase everybody, trying to be pleased with them. At the expense of them being happy themselves. You will never, ever, ever be happy searching out the happiness and like pleasure of the people. The only way that you're ever going to get happiness in this life is through trying to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's it. Because any trying to please the people, boy, that's a dead end road with a pitfall that's got spikes and those what are those like those punji sticks that the Vietnamese used to use,
Sticks, pogo sticks.
No, the punjies, those sticks. They, the Vietnamese, what they used to do with the soldiers in Vietnam.
Oh.
They would dig a hole, and they would sharpen these these sticks. Yeah, and they would put these stakes in there, and they would take feces and put them on the stakes. Put the feces on the stakes, so if you fell into that pit and you got stabbed, even if you lived, you died because you get some severe infection and all that. That's what I'm saying. That's the type of happiness you're gonna find. You're gonna fall into one of those pits trying to please the people, boy. So,
Yeah, mom's
huh? Is he here?
just saying.
If he ain't got no burgers, he can go back. Now we got a lot of questions. Shoo. Well, I don't know if these are a lot of questions or a lot of just. As far as the contracts, man, if you're in a contract of interest, oh, they can slow on
Yeah,
Where's the food at?
a liar.
You forgot.
I just kicked someone off the property off with a bet in my hand, just right now. A laugh.
See, we're just talking about having mercy on people. This is the hadith that we're reading. You show mercy to the people that Allah shows mercy to you, and he comes in talking about I ran somebody up with a bat and didn't bring us no food. Oh wow. Did you pray it or no?
No, I want to pray here.
Oh, go ahead.
He didn't bring no food.
I think, but I don't know what the context is.
I mean, what?
That's your family
Coming hell.
going to hell. I don't know, but I gotta go back and find out the context, like what I was saying.
Amina going to hell.
No, she said going to hell.
Oh.
Like basically, maybe for the people
she made a comment?
yeah. Maybe for the people that do what we're talking about.
Oh. She always looking and listening to something.
I'm trying to find some. He said, Ustad, do you know Abu Fajr al-Fatah from Canada and Faisal Abu Sulaiman? I've only spoken to him once. I don't know him personally, but I have not heard anything but good about him. May Allah protect those brothers, and may Allah continue them to, give them the tawfiq to continue to teach the Quran and the Sunnah in Canada. I don't know anything but good about him. So may Allah yabarak fihi. Mustafa said, are they...
What's the keys?
See, a lot of these are comments about the stuff that we were talking about, and now we're not talking about this no more, so I don't know, what it's referring to, because we already finished talking about that. So they were commenting when we were talking, and I don't know what it's about specifically. Yeah, so we gotta... you can't tell a woman to do something you aren't doing. Of course, the man has to set the example, and that goes for everybody. The man has got to be the example for his children, for the women around him, so Allah musta'an. The next question, I'm asking for a sister who says, what should a woman do if she is too shy to look at a potential suitor in a marriage meeting if she hasn't seen him in person before? She's too shy to look at that's from the Sunnah. It's not wajib for you to see the person, but if you're going to be planning to marry a person, you need to get over that shyness, because you have to see them. See, the woman, she can, at least at the very least, he has to see her. The woman, she can always, it's different with a woman, because she doesn't have to look at the man face to face. See, the woman can go out to the window and see the man as he's coming up or the man's leaving, because us, we don't cover our faces, we don't cover up, so the woman has it easier. But the issue is that the man, he has to see her to make sure that she's suitable also. Like I said, as far as the woman, she can look out the window. She doesn't even have to look at him, at that time, when he's there. She could watch him coming up to the house, she could watch him leaving the house, she could watch him, in any ways, So Jakarati says, Ustaz, some scholars say it's allowed for women to look at the opposite gender without lust, while others say it's not allowed regardless. It's not allowed. So for the latter opinion, does it mean that every time No, see, the thing is there's a difference between you look at, because look, you know, you live in a Western society where women are not going to cover up. You're going to see a lot of things throughout the day that you did not mean to see. It's not like you're going out of your house every single day and say, oh, I'm going to go to the supermarket today to see what I can see from amongst, you know, I mean, obviously you're not setting out to do that. So those looks that happen, they're just common looks. But the thing is that when you see something like that, you don't keep looking and keep glancing over and keep, you know. I mean, I've been with brothers who like they've been up in the supermarket. I the brother. I mean, like, come on, man, stop telling. He walks up. This was in Los Angeles. Brothers up in the supermarkets. Man, my eyes are committing zina. I'm like, dude, chill out, akhi. You know, it's like you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like even with your sins, keep that to yourself, akhi. You don't have to go. But he's just like he's sitting there announcing it to the whole supermarket. You know, my eyes are committing zina. I'm like, tell you, you know, keep that to yourself.
قلت لك صح
Huh?
قلت لك
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't talk to people who don't bring burgers. People chase people around with bats and forget hungry people at the masjid. He said, Chicken Finger said, what about treating people? That's the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that. And he said, Yati nas ma yuhibbu an yuta ilayh. To go to the people and do with the people exactly the way that you want to be dealt with. If you want to be dealt with harshness, you know, obviously you don't. So don't be harsh with the people. But like I said, there's different situations and different scenarios. There are people that are just completely stupid. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them stupid. And they have to, like, they don't understand softness and kindness. They understand getting dumped on their head. That's, you know, that's what wakes up it jogs the mind and gets the understanding going. So I'm not talking, this is not across the board. I'm not saying, you know, that you have to be, you know, like this with everybody. So there's certain people you have to be rough with. You have to, because if you're not, then they're going to, you know, see that as a sign of weakness, and they are going to take advantage of you. But that's not the common person. That's a small percentage of the people. So all this like gangster attitude with the common people, you know, that's what are you going to do that for? Save that for each situation. It has a behavior that's suitable for that situation. And you know, part of hikmah and part of wisdom is looking at the situation and choosing the appropriate behavior, the appropriate words for that situation. That's wisdom. And the only way that you're going to get that wisdom is by constantly reading the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because you're seeing throughout the whole sunnah, you read all the different books of hadith, what are you going to see? You're going to see how the Prophet ﷺ dealt with these people in different scenarios, in different situations. How did he deal with the Bedouins, those rough and tough Bedouins? How did he deal with the kuffar? How did he deal with the kuffar that were nice to him? How did he deal with the kuffar that were trying to fight him and kill him? How did he, you know, you see, you look at this and you start to see the behavior of the Prophet ﷺ. That's the benefit of reading the sunnah. You know, because everybody always asks me, what's the best book on Sirah? The best book on Sirah, it starts with Sahih Bukhari. And the next one is Sahih Muslim. And the next book of Sirah is Sunan Abi Dawood. And the next book of Sirah is Sunan al-Tirmidhi. The next book of Sunnah is what? Sunan al-Nasa'i. The next book of Sunnah, Sunan al-Darimi.
Oh.
I don't believe, I'm on the opinion that al-Muwatta and Sunan al-Darimi should be in the Kutub al-Sittah, but they put Ibn Majah for whatever reason. They put Sunan Ibn Majah as a part of the Kutub al-Sittah. You know, that's their choice. But I say Sunan al-Darimi, the Musnad of Imam Ahmed, and Muwatta, and then Sunan Ibn Majah. Yeah, but yeah. That's how you learn how to deal with people. And then as you learn that, and you learn the Sunnah, then khalas, you select the appropriate behavior for each situation. We're all learning. We're all trying to learn, and we're all going to keep making mistakes. But the whole point is that we got to keep trying to learn. Keep trying to learn, inshallah. He said, Anonymous, Assalamu alaikum. Ustaz, could you tell us about the sleep schedule of a talib al-ilm? Yeah, it's like the sleep schedule of a person who's in special forces. You get sleep whenever you can get it. And that's it. If all you can get is to lay down, you know, next to a pillar in the masjid and sleep for an hour, then that's what you do. That's how you get to sleep. You know, because, you know, it depends, because classes open up. Maybe classes open up at a time that you always take your nap during the day. But now this class opens up. Well, there goes your nap. You know, you just have to change your sleep schedule. You know, whenever you're free to sleep, that's when you sleep. And that's it.
Did you read the book?
She said, what? Hayat is beautiful. It's the most beautiful of all things. From both the man and the woman. But the problem is now that the women have lost that hayat, and that's sickening. That's sickening. If a woman loses, I mean, if a man loses hayat, it's bad. It's you know, society is going towards corruption. But once the woman loses it, it's over, man. It's sickening. Person said, what is the ruling on me going to a male dentist but the hygienist is a female? It's not a necessity. It's not a necessity. You know, you need to find some, you know, maybe talk to the dentist and just like let them know your situation. You know, especially if it's a dentist you trust, and say, look, you know, I want to come here, but I can't have this woman, you know, sticking her hands all up in my mouth, you know, getting close to me, because I mean, nah, dude, I don't want that, man, and I don't want that for nobody, because most of those girls that work in the dentist's office, they ain't. I mean, I haven't been to one since I was a kid, but I remember that was the best days of my life, Akhi, when the assistant came in and started, you know, when I'm like 12 years old, 13 years old, because you know she's gonna lean over you. No, I mean, you know, I don't want that, man. No, get away from me, because I mean that's too much fitna, Akhi. That's too much fitna. And I mean, I'm serious. You know, the sad thing, again, it goes back to the corruption of the society, that a man can sit in a dentist chair with a woman like that, a young girl, like, you know, 20-something years old, and she ain't ugly, leaning all over him, touching him all over, and he's not fazed by this. This not a fitna from him. You've been eating too many soybeans. Like, no, I don't want that fitna. And you tell them, like, look, find an assistant that's a male, or go to another dentist, because that's not a darura. A darura is like, you know, for example, you get shot out in the street and you're dying, and the only person that's around is a female doctor that can come to you and treat you at that time. Okay, then we say, khalas, that's what? That's a necessity, that's a darura. But going to a dentist, you go to the dentist by choice. You can choose which dentist to go to. So find one that, no, you don't want to put yourself in that type of situation. No. I know I would never want to do that. That's dangerous. Ustad, is it permissible for a brother to see the marriage candidate's sister on the phone
I think it's in the comment.
via images and videos like some mothers propose prospects? Mr. Chicken Fingers, you can see the girl, on the phone, as long as it's with the permission of her wali and he's present, but not without his permission. You know, if that's the only way. But obviously, if you can go to the house, like, for example, you're trying to get married to her, you're in one country, she's in another country, or maybe one state and she's in another state. Like, there's distance between you, so it's not feasible for you just to get up and just drive to the house and see her. In that case, you know, but with the presence of the wali al-amr, with her wali, you know. So wali al-amr, well, he is the wali al-amr for her, but with the presence of her wali, with not to do that freely, where she just like, hey, this is what I look like. Do you like me? Okay, well, go ahead. Here's my father's number. No, and he doesn't know about this. No, that's not permissible. But as long as the father, and like I said again, that goes back to the issue of you not being able to go to the house. You know, because I advise the women to stop, you know, getting on these cameras and stop, you know, because you gotta understand, man, every single thing that you do on your phone,
Allah sees it.
Huh?
Allah sees it.
Not just Allah. Allah sees it. Allah sees what you don't do on your phone. What I'm saying is what the pictures that you're taking is that anybody can get access to that. Anybody. And if you think that that's secret, it's not secret. So getting on video, every time that you open up a video and record yourself on your phone, that does not go away, even if you delete it from your phone. It does not go away. Somebody, and that's why you see, the police and everybody, they can get your phone and they can pull back up everything that you've deleted. They got programs for all that stuff. So don't assume that you're doing things on your phone and deleting them and it's not being seen. So women need to, honestly, women getting on the phone and getting on the cameras and showing themselves, no, they shouldn't be doing that anyways. The man should just go to the house and see her. But like I said, in certain circumstances where if they are getting married and there's no way for him, you may try to do the best that you can, but along with time. But she should remain as covered as possible during that video, and the man should, her father or whoever is responsible for should be present. Anonymous said, Ustad, any advice for giving dawah to Sufis from the Indian subcontinent? Blind following is too much. Yeah. My advice for you is make dua for them and never talk to them, because it's like, seriously, it's like every time you try to talk to them, somebody's getting arrested. Somebody's getting arrested, because the Sufis from like Pakistan and India, when you get into an argument with them, they get really nasty. They really, really get nasty. And they will push every single button that you have to make you just want to do something really bad to them. For me, I avoid it. I won't talk to them. If I see, unless it's somebody that I see is, well-mannered, a person that really wants good, a person trying to learn the deen, but he got caught up in that stuff, you sit down and try to advise them. But those blind followers, those hardcore dudes, they're like do or die type dudes with the Sufi stuff. Nah, I won't even talk to them, because seriously, somebody's going to jail that day. Because they will push every single button to make you just jump all over them.
I went in the restaurant in the morning. I left the restaurant at night.
So here, M.A. said, Allah Yubarak Feet. Instead, I told some brothers to listen to you, but they said your association is not fully Salafi.
Which comment is this?
I know you're on haq. How do I convince them? You don't. You don't have to convince them. Our job is not to convince the people. Our job is just to relay the message. That's not your job. Just leave it. You're out to learn the truth, and those people are out to follow personalities. And most of those people that say things like that, they themselves have never studied a day in their lives, or if they have, it's very, very little.
The burgers.
No, ain't no burgers. The burgers are you.
Sit on it.
He's just bringing water. You let us down.
You guys are actually talking about mercy. I was like, I almost beat someone with a bat.
I don't know if I miss questions, because this thing keeps jumping. Like every time people write comments, it keeps jumping. So I'll be reading something and then it jumps and then I miss it. This one says, if one kisses their parent's hand and it has perfume that contains alcohol, do they have to remove it from their lips if they can taste it? No. For one, you should advise the parents not to put if there's perfume or cologne that have alcohol in it, you don't put that on your skin anyways. If you are going to use that, then you spray it on your throat or spray it on the outer clothing, but not on your skin, because the alcohol is going to get into your pores anyway. Mustafa said, is revealing good deeds to encourage others to do the same permissible? Yeah, akhi, your example should encourage people without you having to talk about what you're doing. If you're sitting in the masjid reading Quran, you're praying in the masjid, and people see you doing these things and see you always reading books and see you, that itself is going to encourage the people that seek encouragement. But for people who don't seek encouragement, it doesn't matter what you try to do. You can sit here and do, backflips and do all this stuff in front of them, but nothing's going to encourage them to do anything, because they're not seeking it. But just your actions, it goes back to that old school saying, right? Your actions speak louder than words, right? So just be that person. You don't have to say nothing. Just be the person. And you just being the person, people are going to see that, and it will motivate people around you, inshallah.
One of the tamales, there's 4 tamales up there.
Oh, they're cooked?
Yeah, I just put them in the microwave.
Okay. You want a tamale?
They're hot.
Beef?
They're in the bag, yeah.
You want me to give it to you, or?
I'm not going to eat while this is going. Maybe when we finish. We're about to finish anyway if there's no more questions. We already taken all the hadith.
Keep coming.
Huh?
They keep coming. The questions.
So M.A. said, can you please discuss the reality of the surur? I can't see it because it's got that heart thing, that emoji thing here. It's not from the person, it's just because it's here. You know, the thing that you got to click that's in the heart, but it's blocking what the person is right. Can you please discuss the reality of the sururi and the sa'afiqah? The sururi,
Sheikh Mufrad.
but no, I'm saying it's very simple, right? You got, we talk about this all the time. You have a tafriq, and then you have al-ifrat, and then you have al-wasat, right? So the ifrat are the people that go to extremes. They go to ghulu, the muta'anitun, these are the people that go to extremes. And these are the guys that will take people off of Salafiyah. They say, oh, he's not Salafi because he sneezed and didn't say Alhamdulillah, or because he went to Akhi, I kid you not. And this was in the match. This is in the match, just to show you. And I'm not going to say who the person is, but it is one of the noble brothers, all right? Was the noble brothers, like the nobility of the da'wah of Salafi in America. So, but not in America, from Britain. So he was in the match. His brother's in the match. This is in the match. This happened in the match. So they come up to Abdul Hakim, Allah yahfadhu, and they're arguing with Abdul Hakim about what he said about the books of Medina, because he said the Medina books, he said they're not complete. He said, they said the camel. And then the guy got angry, he said, Atalasta camel. He said, Ana arif, ana al-kamalillah, so of course I know I'm not complete. Completion is only for Allah. But he was talking about what Abdul Hakim was talking about. He said that these are not the books that they study in the language program. They have more books. He said these are not the complete books. That this is not sufficient for the person to learn Arabic. So they tried to go off on him and try to say, what was it? Why he's, trying to find reasons of why he's not Salafi to their liking, He doesn't have that noble Salafi blood like the blue bloods. So they said, well, you went out and you drank Coca-Cola with Fulan. We saw you drinking a Coca-Cola with Fulan. And you never drank a Coca-Cola with us. Wallahi, in the match. Because the brother he came to meet me, and the brother bought him a Coca-Cola. And said, here you go. And he just drank it with him and he left. But then they got angry because they said, you never drink Coca-Cola with us. What type of childish behavior is this?
Is Abdul Hakim
this is what they did to him. They were saying to him.
No, is he considered an alim?
Huh?
Just curious, is Abdul Hakim an alim or?
Yeah, Abdul Hakim is way more knowledgeable than any of these jokers running around these noble brothers. Abdul Hakim is way more knowledgeable than all of them, especially the head of the snake that's in Britain. Way more knowledgeable than him, Mr. I studied for 6 months and didn't even finish Bulugh al-Maram, and the Sheikh points against him. Yeah.
Now I know what you're talking about.
So, and these are the people that run around talking about, oh, he's not Salafi enough. Salafi to what? To your liking? Akhi, I don't want to be Salafi to your liking. That's not my job. And my job, Allah didn't create me to please you. And Allah didn't create me to sit here and kiss your feet and make you happy and all that stuff. Man, forget y'all. My job is to sit here and try to do my best as a Muslim to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's all my concern is. And my concern, and I use, and my way of getting to that pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what? Following the Quran and the Sunnah, because I know that's what's pleasing to Allah. So if I got to follow it on the way that you follow it, or what you tell me to do, akhi, forget that. So that's the extreme people. And then you got the other people, these like sururis and ikhwanis and all these people who they like to, we should all love each other. We should all get along. We should all put our differences aside. So now they're going to the issue of what? A tafriq. where they're becoming like mutasahal, like they're becoming too easygoing. The haqq is in the middle, you know. Well, not yeah, all of these people, but you know, you get the ones from Saudi, you get the ones from Kuwait, you get, you know, they're all different ones, right? You know, you got the Islahis from Yemen, so you got all these different, you know, but they're all just different like names for the same reality, which is what the Ikhwan, all right, which is like, okay, let's put all our differences aside, our differences of aqidah, our differences of, you know, akhi, if we put our differences of aqidah to the side, then why don't you just say, let's put the deen to the side and let's just deal with each other on a personal level? Nah, akhi, we don't do that, because our dealings with each other is deen. So I don't care. I mean, I will deal with a person that I don't like personally, but this person follows the Quran and the Sunnah, but maybe we don't get along personally, I'll deal with him. And I will deal with him, and I will love that brother more than I love the person who's what? That we don't have any conflicts with personality, but he's on his aqeedah is completely messed up. Yeah, akhi, forget that. I mean, I don't want to be, what do you think? I'm not looking for entertainment. I'm not looking for friendship. Yeah, akhi, I sit at home with my books. Akhi, I don't need people in my life. Alhamdulillah, I got Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, and I got Ibn al-Qayyim. They keep me plenty busy. Shawkani keeps me busy too. I live my life with the dead. You know, I live my life hanging out with dead folks all day long, you know, reading their works. I don't need the people, you know. So all this type of stuff, you know, don't get involved in this stuff. People want you to follow what they're on. Like, they want you to follow their version. Yeah, akhi, these guys are juhal, akhi, wallahi, juhal. Wallahi, you see like these brothers like Sheikh Abdul Hamid and Sheikh Abu Bilal, these real big students at the match. Yeah, akhi, these dudes ain't even worthy of cleaning their feet, akhi. Wallahi, running around talking about that like the noble brothers of the Salafi Dawah. Man, please. We watched real students of knowledge, and we were around them for years. You know, and Abdul Hakim, Allah Yahfadhu, is a real student of knowledge. Mundir, the brother in Oakland, is a real student of knowledge. You know, these brothers like Abdul Fattah and the brothers in Canada, those are real students of knowledge. You know, Naeem, I haven't seen Naeem in a long time, but what I know from Naeem when I was with him in Damaj is a real student of knowledge. I don't know all these other people. And the ones that I did know from the noble brothers, they never sat in the classes, they didn't pray in the masjid, they hid in their rooms, and they didn't do anything. They weren't in the classes. They weren't sitting with the sheikh. You know, they weren't, you know, and the sheikh used to have to tell them, like, get up on the microphone and call their names out. Say, where's Fulan? Where's Fulan? Because they were never in the masjid. So, don't pay attention to this garbage. These dudes are completely, they're counterfeit. You know, they're imposters. They're cosplay. You know, they want to dress up like what they aren't and pretend like what they aren't. They ain't students of knowledge. Nobody right now knows any of these dudes except from YouTube. Allah Mustan. Go amongst the real students of knowledge, the real students of knowledge. Whether it's in Yemen, Saudi, people don't respect them like that. He's a talker. He's a parrot. You know, that's all he is. Get up and like, you know, potty want a cracker type garbage. Oh man, Allah Mustan. I'm gonna make a lot of enemies tonight. And guess what? I don't care.
We're right here by your side. I would kiss him out with a bat.
No, I mean, we've made enemies, and once we decided that we wanted to follow the Sunnah, that's all we've been doing is making enemies our whole life. So this is another stage of life.
Let these jokers come here. They're gonna meet something.
Abdul Hakim is Abu Rayhana, yes. Abdul Hakim is Abu Rayhana.
He's actually visiting soon.
Yeah, so that's the brother I advise people to go back and listen to. Everybody asks me, like, who do I listen to? Go back and listen. Abdul Hakim is a very beneficial brother. And right now, if Fareed was alive, obviously I would say that Fareed is the most knowledgeable person in America. But Fareed is not alive anymore, Allah yarhamu. Right now, if I had to make my judgment, my assessment based on what I know about people, and like I said, this is subjective, this is not objective. I'm not saying that this is the absolute truth. I'm just saying from my opinion that Abdul Hakim is the most knowledgeable person in America. I'm not saying he's the most knowledgeable American. I'm just saying he's the most knowledgeable person that we have here in America. You know, and I will put Mundir right there like number 2. But I don't know, you know, because Mundir, he could be number 1. And like I said, this is my opinion, because I didn't really sit around with Mundir a lot to know what he studied. I was there for years with Abdul Hakim, so I don't know. I'm just based on my opinion. But those other guys that I saw, the noble brothers that were in the match, well, that was a joke, akhi. I never saw nothing from them. Huh? Nah, he never went to Damaj, Akhi.
Oh, then.
Akhi, Damaj would have broken that dude in half, man. Well, most of the British brothers, they couldn't be patient. Like, you had a few British brothers, mashallah, some good brothers, that went to Damaj and they were very, very patient. But those noble brothers, Akhi, they ain't got the patience for that. Because they're going there for, like, stuff that they could put on their CV, stuff that they could put on a resume. They're not going there for truth and really knowledge. So that's why you see, Akhi, go to their Twitter pages. Wallahi, they quote the Sheikh Al-Uthaymin and Sheikh Salih Fawzan more than they quote the Prophet. Come on, man, Akhi, that's not, I mean, you calling the people to who? You calling the people to personalities, you calling the people to the Sunnah. Yeah, we quote Sheikh Salih Fawzan, we quote Sheikh Al-Uthaymin, but not more than the Prophet. We're not going to quote any Sheikh more than we quote the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That already shows you that you're standing on, you're standing on a broken foundation. Allah musta'an. Wa ilahana subhanakallahu wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Live's done.